Hi and welcome. So today's video is a bit of a weird one. It's not going to be a long one, but I just wanted to share a really short, freaky story about something that happened on my mobile phone. So I'll just go straight in with it. My dad died um, just over 10 years ago, and it was obviously really, really sad. And not long after he died, um, on my phone, I found a text message in big block capital letters in white that, that filled up the whole of the screen practically, that said, sorry. And I just thought, oh my God, I just knew it was my dad. Now, here's the thing. The phone I had at the time was a really old, crappy, like one of the original Nokia phones. It was rubbish. Well, it was one of the first original ones that had like a screen before we started going into smartphones. So it was really, really basic. I mean, the screens couldn't really do much. Like you couldn't change font size, you couldn't change fonts, you couldn't change it to different fonts. It was really basic. And so I was just really shocked. And I was like, oh my God, I really do believe that's my dad saying sorry. Um, I won't go into why he was saying sorry, but I instantly knew what he was talking about, and I accepted it. So I told everybody about this. I was just psyched. And the thing is, I went to check obviously where this text message had come from, and I tell you now, there was no record of it on my phone. As soon as I came out to check where this message had came from, like it disappeared. The message disappeared. It wasn't in my inbox. There was nothing in my inbox. I went to my, on phones you have a record where you can see who's text, who's called, outgoing calls. There was nothing. It like it didn't exist. And I even got my husband to have a play around on the phone because I was hell bent on debunking this. Like I've got, there's got to be an explanation. I probably shouldn't just assume it's my dad, and he couldn't see nothing neither. So anyway, uh, went went about my life, hoping it would happen again, which it did. I think it could have only been like a couple months later. I just walked into my room, went to check my phone, and you guessed it, in the same big white blocky font, which is not a font you can get on these old Billy Basic phones. Like I said, you can't change the font, you can't change the font size. It's just not a thing on these phones. You can't do it. Um, and like I said, it had almost filled the screen. So I was like I was going bananas, and I ran down and I showed it to my husband, and I showed it to him. I was like, oh my God, look, 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 look. And I didn't really want to like come out of it to investigate it, because I knew once I'd come out of it the message would be gone forever. But I wanted him to see it. And so we sort of stared at the phone, and I was just like, I see, this isn't this the weirdest thing ever. And my husband, as people who've been watching my videos, my husband is a big non-believer. But even he thought this is bloody weird. So we came out the message, and you guessed it, it was completely erased, it was gone. And my husband was sat there best he could trying to figure out where has this text message gone? Why is there no trace of it? Why is it not in the record log? And all we could do is just put it down to, it is a strange, weird thing. But I just couldn't get it out of my head. So I actually phoned up I actually phoned up my phone provider, and I explained to the girl that I need to find out where this text message has come from. I said, please, it's really important, and I kind of gave her the gist of it. At this point, I don't care whether I look like a nut job. And she went away and she tried to track this message, and she came back to me and she said, I'm going to be honest with you. She said, there's absolutely no record of it. I don't know where that text message is, that message could have come from. There's just nothing, there's no log on it. And I said to her, I said, do you not think this is weird? I said, I'm being really upfront with you. Is this weird? And she was like, yeah, I just don't get it. And I had to leave it at that. So think what you will of that, but I do I do believe that was my dad saying sorry. Um, I mean, the two biggies being that there was no trace of this message. It didn't come from a number. It didn't come from anywhere. It was gone. And the second thing being that the font and the text message in itself is not even a thing on these old Nokia phones. But I do still have the phone, and um, and sometimes I do charge it and switch it on and leave it on the side just in case he does want to send another message. Because if he did send another message, I would run up and show you. I would make a video on it, and I would show you me coming out the message and proving to you that it's come from nowhere. But yeah, and I would love to hear if anybody else has ever experienced anything like that on their phones that is unexplainable. And yeah, so just thought that was a little fun story time. If you want to comment or ask a question, feel free, but please be kind, and I'm gonna shoot off. Okay, bye.